Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, students. I'm very happy to have you here this afternoon. Thank you for finding the time. My name is Olivier. I'm one of the professors who will be teaching you in environmental engineering. So congratulations for making it through our program. I'm not alone today. I'm here with a number of my colleagues. Prof. Who is our program manager, so we can answer questions about the curriculum. We also have another professor, Prof. Bae. Prof. Bae is from Korea. You can say hi with your hand, and he's teaching a number of modules related to microbiology, and also he's planning something new for you guys that will start next semester. So he's very busy these days. We also have Prof. Justin, who's here. Justin, can you turn on your camera for a second so the students can see your face?
Unfortunately, my camera is down, but hi, everybody.
That's unfortunate, especially for someone who is our digital expert, who will be teaching any module. I know that a number of you have an interest in digital technologies and how they can apply to the environment. And Justin is our expert on it, even though he didn't apply this to his own webcam. And then I also think that we have Prof. Bala who is here. Hi, Prof. Bala.
Hi, everyone.
And Prof. Bala also teaches a number of environmental related modules, and is one of our very good teachers, and will be very happy to answer your questions as well. And then we also have a number of students of our students from different years who are here to also share with you, interact with you, and let you know more about our program. So we have Denise. Hi, Denise. You can say hi. And we have Celine. Celine has prepared a small presentation for you, if I'm correct. And then we have Izat. Izat is just finished his first year, so he's a fresh student who can give you a fresh point of view. All right, so with that being said, let me just introduce to you very briefly what the program will be. We will try to keep it short and straight to the point. We haven't prepared a lot of presentation because we want to keep this session interactive, and we want you to be able to ask your questions. So we will start with a welcome message that is registered by our dean. And then we will have a small presentation about our curriculum by our program manager, Prof. Hu. And after that, we will have our student sharing by Celine. And then finally, we will have a discussion and informal chat in which you will be able to choose between two different rooms. Either you will stay with the professors, or you can go to your own room with the students, where I promise you that none of you will go, and then you can ask anything that you want to ask without having us interfere. So it's really entirely up to you, and feel free to ask your questions in the chat at any point of time if you have any question that comes along, and we will be happy to answer them in real time. So with that being said, let us start the program with a welcome message by our dean, Prof. Aaron Tian.
Engineering is about solving some of the world's toughest problems. But the challenges engineers face are becoming more complex. So at NUS Engineering, we are transforming how we train the engineers of the future. Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm the Dean of NUS Engineering. As engineering challenges evolve, engineers need to draw on an ever broader range of skills and knowledge. So we have reimagined our curriculum. For students starting in August 2021, you will have a bigger range of options than ever before. We think of it as your opportunity to build your own degree. You have the flexibility to study both the traditional engineering disciplines while broadening your skills in other areas. NUS Engineering is already ranked in the top 10 globally for engineering. It's #1 in Singapore for graduate employability. We have a world-class faculty who are global leaders in cutting-edge research, such as biomedical engineering, medical technology, quantum engineering, and advanced materials. Over the past year, many of our faculty have stepped up to join the fight against COVID-19, developing new testing kits, therapeutics, and protection equipment designed to keep frontline healthcare workers safe. As an NUS engineering student, you will engage with and learn from these experts. We have access to the latest digital technologies and labs. From day one, you'll be exposed to hands-on engineering using robotics and drones, and work on other cool projects that will build your foundational knowledge. NUS Engineering is at the heart of a global network with exchange programs with leading engineering schools around the world, strong ties with NUS Overseas College Program, and industry connections that offer access to a world of exciting internships. At NUS Engineering, we're here to help you discover your passions, to build your skills to the best you can be, and go where you want to go. So please come join us. We're looking forward to building the future of engineering with you.
All right. I hope students that you're getting that what you're getting this year from engineering is a whole new curriculum that is entirely revisited, and that you will be the first batch to experience. And so now I will leave Prof. Hu, who is our program manager, to introduce to you how these changes are going to impact you as environmental engineering students. Prof. Hu, please.
Thank you, Olivia. And very nice to have so many of you responding to our open house. And I really like to welcome you to this session so that we can share with you our new curriculums, your study journey in our environmental engineering program at NUS, and you have plenty of the chances to interact with our faculty members as well as our students. So as the Environment Science and Engineering Program Director, all right, I'm Professor Hu Zhangyong. And I would like to actually give you some ideas about our program, our activities, our curriculums, and attractions, which you will experience when you come and join us. Quite a number of you, we have some discussion over the phone. So it would be very nice actually to have you today, and we can have more discussion and stay with us. So first of all, let me very briefly mention about what is environment engineering. Okay, environment engineering focus on exploring scientific principles and translating them to protect human health and protect our valuable ecosystems. And our aim is to improve environmental quality. So what environmental engineers do, okay, you may wonder, environment engineers develop innovative solutions and technologies to manage our natural resources like air, like water, like our soil, all right, many natural resources. And we can even think about how to reuse, recover, and make it like a circular economy. And we improve health of the living systems and improve the environmental quality in a sustainable manner. So in Singapore, if I want to mention a few, mega projects which is backed up by our environment engineers, which means developed by our environment engineers, would be, for example, the Marina Barrage, okay, which create a reservoir, a very, very novel reservoir in the city center, okay, which makes Singapore actually, able to supply its daily water to the domestic as well as to the industrial needs. Okay, and this is one of them. Another one is the new water plant. Okay, I believe many of you have heard about or have visited Newater plant, Newater visitor centers. And here in Singapore, especially in our Department of Civil and Environment Engineering, a group of environment engineers, okay, we are at the back of the Newater study, and eventually we make Newater become reality for the Singapore society. That was, since 20 years ago, and it is still help Singapore a lot, right, in terms of water sustainability. Okay, why you people should consider environment engineering? I believe a lot of you come to this session or apply for our program. You do dream about, saving environment, okay, impact the society, protect the planet, and so on. If you do have this kind of a dream, then environment engineering is the program for your dream, okay? And in addition, Singapore government just come up with this green initiative plan 2030. It's called Singapore Green Plan 2030. Okay, this is a multi, the agency kind of a sustainability plan, and then aiming for the future sustainable development. And this plan covers areas like city in nature, sustainable living, energy reset, green economy, and resilient future. Okay, in this particular plan, existing technologies for protecting environment, for reducing the energy consumption, all need to be enhanced, improved. New technologies need to be developed to fulfill the aim of this the Green Plan 2030, right? And more stringent environment regulations guidelines need to be implemented so that we are able to move towards future sustainability. So there are many, many opportunities for creating green solutions emphasized by our government. And not only Singapore is doing that, all right? Nowadays in the newspaper, you are able to see many, many countries. They all come out with their sustainability plan, 2050, 2060, that kind of plan. There are quite a number of them. So this suggests that there are lifelong opportunities for the environmental specialist, even go beyond 2060. Okay, so come back to this environmental science and engineering program at NUS. Okay, why should you consider us, right? I give you a few unique features of our environmental science and engineering program. First of all, according to QS World University Ranking, right, NUS Environmental ranked number 11 in the world. Okay, this is 2021 ranking, right? So this is a very good ranking. We only lose out to number 9 is Berkeley, number 10 is Imperial College. So we are actually very proudly to be ranked as number 11 in the whole world. And our students, okay, enroll into our program, right? We have plenty of experiential learning, which my colleagues, Dr. Bay and Professor Olivia, will share with you later. And they also have a lot of like authentic learning experience, and they actively interact with our community. For example, our industry collaborators, our alumni, our faculty members, right? So many interactions, many learning experiences going on for them. And we have award-winning and highly experienced educators, right? We have our senior members received his BBM from the ex-president, Dr. Tony Tan, in 2016 due to his very great contribution to the Singapore's Newater development. Okay, on top of that, we also have other faculty members. They have obtained national, regional, even the world, awards for their R&D work, for their education experiences, and so on. 2020, according to the graduate employment rate given by the government, right? Despite the pandemic situation, our environmental science and engineering students enjoy 100% employment rate. This is very, very, very special because we are probably the highest in the entire FOE program, right, in 2020. And after graduation, all right, our student can consider professional registration. For example, they can go for chartered engineer registration. And with this chartered engineer, that kind of a professional registration, they are able to further advance their career development. Right. So in terms of the curriculum, especially the new curriculum, I like to give you some overview, right? So first of all, we have a number of the university and the faculty common modules. Okay, so you can see those are the module in the light blue and dark blue, that kind of color. So those are introduced by the university and introduced by faculty. The modules like livable cities, okay, artificial intelligence, right? Design thinking. All of those modules make our student to be future ready, all right? Also ready for the industry 4.0. And we have engineering common modules, okay, which include mathematics, right, engineering professionalism, and most importantly, compulsory industry attachment. This is going to be, very useful for our student to be adaptable to this the working environment, right? So make them very highly popular in the market through this compulsory industry attachment, right? And then student is going to learn our environment engineering major modules, and we have 10 modules here, right, which covers different aspects of the environmental science and engineering. You can see chemistry, environment chemistry, environment microbiology, right, environmental challenges, and as well as some, very interesting, with a lot of fun, that kind of module, environment engineering principle practices and principle and practices in environment monitoring. Professor Olivier and also Dr. Bay can actually share with you more, because they are the two actually teaching those kind of very interesting interactive modules. And we have other modules, right, which prepare you works in our environment engineering field. For example, sustainable urban water technologies, air quality in a changing environment, resource management and circular economy, together with our technical electives. So students actually go through all of those environment engineering major module trainings. You are ready to go to practice in the environmental industry. And on top of that, we have another 10 modules, which are so-called unrestricted elective modules. Okay, so these 10 unrestricted elective modules prepare our students to train themselves to be multidisciplinary, because this gives you many opportunities. You can actually pair your major with another major. You can pair your major with minor. You can pair your major with a specialization. So there are many opportunities, actually many pathways for you to decide by yourself what kind of area direction you want to move in, eventually make you more adaptable to the ever-changing employment market. So let me actually explain to you a little bit more, okay, what are the options you have. So option number 1, environment engineering major, with or without a specialization. So those are the areas we cover under our major. The domain area will include climate change, right, waste management, environmental sustainability, air quality, alternative energy sources, water quality enhancement, water reclamation and reuse. So all of those domain areas we cover under the environment engineering major is going to equip you with skill sets and knowledge in environmental science, management and engineering, and allow the student develop into different direction of sustainability. All right. And on top of that, student can opt for a specialization in digitalization in urban infrastructure, okay, which is taught by, it's mainly coordinated by Dr. Josting. So if you have any questions, also feel free to ask him. This specialization equip our student with a skill set to integrate digital technologies into environment engineering, transform our design and operation of environmental systems, and improve our urban environment quality. All right, so this is one type of option. And under this option, you will have technical electives, right? You can choose from this list of the modules, choose 2 only. And then you can have a lot of like unrestricted elective modules. You can choose among this list of the modules. And in fact, you also can choose many more on NUS campus. Things is unrestricted, but I give you some examples. You can choose from here, and you also can choose from this the green boxes which you haven't chosen for your technical elective. They can be counted towards your unrestricted elective. Right, so this is option number 1. Under this option number 1, okay, under this the major, right? I give you some highlights in terms of our curriculums. For example, when you come to year 3, right? This is a module taught by Dr. Bay. It's called Overseas Sustainability Project. Okay, ESE 3011, right? In 2019, they went to Bintan, Indonesia, right? They developed the septic tank, which is a very, low-cost kind of a technology to protect the local people's ecosystem. So our student got a lot of hands-on experience. They design, they go and construct, they do commissioning of this kind of system, right? They also have the farm. So later on, Dr. Bay actually can share with you more if you are interested. So definitely we will have a lot of activities like such when you come to the year 3. Okay, in terms of option number 2, all right, what you can think about environment engineering major plus other major or other minors. Since you are giving 10 UEM to fill up, you can really make a full use of those 10 UEMs. Okay, so I give you some example. How are you going to actually choose your major and a minor, right? So you can see we have common curriculums, right? And then you can have your environmental engineering major plus public health minor. Then you train yourself, right? Become environmental and a public health specialist. You can also, consider 2 minors. One is urban study and another is geosciences, okay, with your environment engineering major. So eventually you train yourself, become an environmental sustainability consultant. All right, and you can also consider environment engineering major plus 1 minor called data engineering. Another is a specialization in the digitalization in urban infrastructure. So in the end, you become a smart urban environment engineers, okay? Other options will be environment engineering major plus a management as a second major. So you are going to work in the environmental management field, right? Another option is environmental engineering major plus economics as your minor. So you can work in the business field, environmental related business field. So this gives you some examples. How are you going to make use of your, this 10 UEMs and build further your future career directions? Can be major, can be 1 minor, can be even 2 minors. Of course, there are other options as well. Just now is just a few examples which are pretty popular in among our existing students. You also can consider environment engineering major plus project management, second major, right? You can consider environment engineering major plus civil infrastructure as a second major, right? If the student read this second major, then you are able to go for even this professional engineer registration. You can consider a second major such as innovation and design offered by FOE. You can also consider a second major as aquatic ecology if you are very much interested in the science, and then you can prepare yourself to become an environmental ecologist. There are many, many options like that. If you go to NUS Bulletin, and you can find 30-40 majors for you to choose and 50 to 70 minors for you to choose. So many other options as well. Okay, you can feel freely explore, right? Our program do offer some scholarships and awards to the students. Okay, I like to highlight a few. For example, NEA and the PUB jointly offer this National Environment and Water Scholarship, right? They offer to students read environment engineering as a major, okay? And BCA also offers scholarship sponsorship, right, to environment engineering students. And yesterday, actually, there was a seminar given by BCA. They touch on that. And FOE give engineering scholarships in this engineering scholar program. And NUS also give various kinds of the scholarships. Our department also offered awards for the shortlisted incoming student to environment engineering. So those awards are with the title of Sustainability and Environment Stellar Student Award, Academic Achievement Award, Honors Award, and so on. We are going to email to those students who have, gotten this award, and this award doesn't conflict with any other scholarships you have. Okay, in terms of career prospects, our graduates can opt for careers in the multidisciplinary fields. So they can be policymakers, environmental specialists. Okay, they also can promote technopreneurship, they also can become environment engineering leaders in the local and multinational companies as well as government agencies. So with Singapore's 2030 Green Initiative, right, and especially when the whole society is moving towards sustainable development in the future, this is going to further shape the demand for our environment engineering graduates. Okay, give you some example. Our graduates currently work in the public sectors. For example, they work in the BCA, work in the MEWR, okay, and the PUB, HDB, NEA, and also the SMRT, URA, JTC, and the NRF. And in terms of companies, all right, our students actually work very actively in the, different companies in the industry. To name a few, AEM, Arup, Keppel, right, Sabano, and also Xylem, Semco, DHI, and so on. Celine, actually, she's going to join AECOM, right? The student, Celine, is going to share with you very soon after my talk. She's going to join AECOM even before her graduation. And we have the student actually work on the different, sectors. Just give you some example, like if they work in the government-related agencies, what they can do, they perform research, environmental-related research, they perform environmental planning, they perform environmental safety management, right? So for students actually working in the consultancy and the other firms, right, they do something very interesting. For example, we have the student work in the UOB Bank, right, looking into ESG investment and focusing on the green finance. We have student working in the DHI, okay, as an environmental consultant. We have student working in the Amazon, right, as an environmental program manager, right? Nowadays, actually, this is a very amazing trend. Amazon, Shopee, all of those kind of organizations like to hire our student become an environmental manager. And we have the student, they promote entrepreneurship. So Xu Hong, okay, he's very keen to promote social entrepreneurship. And he's the co-founder of the World Compound. And we have the Treaty, okay, he's the chief marketing officer of the startup company by our alumni. Okay, this company is called WaterRoam, focusing on developing, advanced membrane technologies. So he's also in the line of the technopreneurship. Right, okay, I would like to actually give you some information in terms of, our programs, employment, our alumni's employment rate, and also the salary. This is based on the 2020, the graduation batch. So compare with all the other environmental programs in Singapore, right, including other programs in NUS and other programs in NTU, you can see that in terms of the our median basic monthly salary, as well as our employment rate in 2020, okay, which is a very special year, right? Our environment engineering program graduates, okay, we actually get the highest salary as well as 100% employment rate. All right, so this is a comparison like I like to provide to you for you to have some idea in terms of how uniqueness our program is. So I give you some feedback from our alumni, right? Remember, Lan Yang is doing environmental research, right? She graduated with our bachelor degree and she continued with a PhD study in our environment engineering program at NUS. Currently, she works as a research fellow in the NUS Environmental Research Institute. So her feedback is that our program is well recognized and we prepare her with the skills and knowledge to resolve technical challenges with creative solutions. And she also did her intern with Xylem, a very famous water company. And this internship actually equipped her, a lot of industry experience and provide her with opportunities to understand corporate research. Xin Hui is our ex-ESAC president. Okay, currently she's working as an environmental consultant. So she basically said environment engineering program helped her to understand the science behind our environment and understand how to design solutions with today's technology. So she's happily now applying the module simulation, okay, engineering, as well as the impact assessment on the environment to protect the environment through her, consultant, that kind of work. All right, I also like to give you some idea how the agencies actually view our program. So Mr. Koh from PUB, director of the Singapore Water Academy, right? He actually viewed that our program produce a new generation of environment engineers who can lead in our continuous journey in transforming Singapore into a more environmental, sustainable and livable city. And Mr. Dawson Chuang is the director for Industry Development and Promotion Division in the NEA. And he viewed that our curriculum were equipped our students with the knowledge and the skill set to be able to work in the sustainability and the renewable energy related industry and organizations and help to contribute to Singapore's sustainability effort. And of course, we have a lot of good feedbacks from the companies like Xylem, Darko, AECOM, Samco, as well as Momentous Research. So you can see our program generates students with very solid knowledge, with very good capability, and they are well liked by industry as well as the public sectors. So with that, I come to the end of my sharing, and I'd like to encourage you to join a winning team, study NUS Environment Engineering, and eventually make this journey able to fulfill your dream. All right. So with that, I'm going to actually stop my sharing now. And back to Olivia. If you have any questions, we will handle after Celine's sharing.
Thank you, Prof. Hu, for this presentation and overview of our program and the perspectives. So students, remember that you can always send your questions in the chat at any time, and there are a number of us who will happily answer them. And right now, I would like to pass it to Celine. Celine is our student, and so you can get a different perspective of what her experience has been over the past few years. Celine?
Okay, thank you, Prof. Olivia. So now I'll be introducing some of the exciting student life in environmental engineering. So this is a brief overview of what I'll be presenting today. I'll be sharing about the daily life as an environmental engineering student, some of the unique learning opportunities in this program, as well as some of the exciting student activities that you can take on. So as the professors have introduced me, I've just completed my fourth year of study, and I'm part of the graduating class of 2021. So why did I choose environmental engineering? Back then, fresh out of junior college, I knew I had an interest in water-related topics as well as environmental issues, and I was particularly interested in the application of scientific knowledge rather than the actual theory. And I saw that environmental engineering was multidisciplinary, and I really liked this aspect of it. And I also liked that it was largely focused on chemical and biological concepts. So this is a brief overview of the milestones of my four-year journey, and I'll be sharing about the student exchange program as well as the industrial attachment. I also did the additional attachment in the summer of my year 2, which I will also be elaborating on later. And I'd like to highlight that this particular order of the SEP as well as industrial attachment is actually flexible, and you can really move it around depending on however you want to arrange it. So what is it like being an environmental engineering student? Typically, you'll take 5 to 6 modules per semester, and within these modules, environmental engineering modules consist about 1 to 3, and there are lectures held every week in 3-hour blocks or 2 + 1 hour blocks. And tutorials are usually 1 hour and are held every week or once every 2 weeks. There are also lab sessions and field trips depending on the module. So the lectures are usually held in small tutorial rooms or small lecture theatres, and therefore it's actually a very comfortable setting to ask questions. And some professors also like to conduct their lectures using other pedagogies such as flipped classroom learning or discussion-based learning. Tutorials are held in even smaller groups and are conducted as a discussion of tutorial questions and solutions as shown on the right. And some are also conducted as peer-based learning, where you're given a list of questions and you solve them together as a group using a whiteboard and presenting the answers at the end of the class. And there are also student-led presentations where you research on a particular topic and you'll be an expert on this area and you'll conduct a 30-minute presentation, sharing it with your classmates. There are about 2 to 3 lab sessions for a module, and it's an opportunity for you to have hands-on learning and to apply what you learned in lectures. There are also opportunities for fieldwork, and for this module, ESE 2102, which is titled The Principles and Practices in Environmental Monitoring, is actually one of my favorite modules in environmental engineering. And we had the opportunity to conduct water quality sampling at Singapore Botanical Gardens. We measured the water quality on site, as well as brought some of the samples back to the lab for chemical analysis. We've also observed some of the algae that's in the sample under the microscope, and they are shown on the right. And furthermore, recently they also introduced the use of a motorized boat to conduct water sampling. And this shows that our professors are always continuously developing and improving the modules for our students to have a better learning experience. For the second half of the module, we've also conducted bioaerosol sampling along an area of Faculty of Engineering, and is to sample for biological particulates in the air, as shown on the right. It typically consists of bacteria and fungal spores. There are also field trips that typically are held at the end of the module. So for the solid and hazardous waste management module, we got to go to Lorong Halus wetlands, which is a capped landfill, and we learned about the implemented treatment system there. So typically when it rains, the rainwater may seep through the landfill and dissolving many toxic compounds on its way as it flows down. And this toxic liquid is known as the leachate, and the leachate tends to accumulate at the bottom of the landfill, and therefore there's a need to continuously pump it up to be treated. And at Lorong Halus is treated via the wetlands treatment method, as shown here, where the plants will actually uptake some of the toxic contaminants into their leaves, and they will be harvested and brought to be incinerated. So it was really interesting to see real-life application of some of the concepts that we learned in class. So there are also unique learning opportunities in environmental engineering where you can take on the undergraduate research opportunity program, known as UROP. And it's a semester-long research project under the guidance of a mentor. And it's opportunities for you to learn more about the different research areas in environmental engineering. There are also overseas learning opportunities, such as a student exchange program, SEP for short. I got to go for exchange in the University of Oulu in Finland. And for during exchange, all modules are pass-fail and therefore not issued a grade. Therefore, it's really an opportunity for you to immerse yourself to experience a new culture, climate, as well as lifestyle. And furthermore, SAP offers unique learning opportunities where you can take on interesting topics that are not typically taught in a Singaporean university, such as fundamentals of nuclear energy, where they actually draw on case studies from the local nuclear plants in Finland. Furthermore, I got to learn some new software skills, which I actually applied during my internship as well. And during my exchange, I got to travel to many different countries, and I even met up with some of my classmates who were on exchange in other universities in Europe. So for my first internship, it was a summer internship at TUSUD PSB, where I conducted a desktop research on the topic of microplastics and nanoplastics. And I helped to identify and select key procedures to extract, purify, and detect the micro and nanoplastic particles in wastewater samples. For my second internship was at AECOM Singapore, where part of my job scope was to help develop environmental impact assessments. An environmental impact assessment is a study that's conducted prior to the construction of a development to be able to assess the impacts of this development on the environment as well as public health. So I was part of the water team, where I helped to assess the hydrology and water quality impacts on stream and drains within the study area. And it was a mixture of desk work as well as field work, so it was the perfect balance for me. During field work, we conducted water quality sampling as well as measurements of stream dimensions and flow velocity. And I've also helped with the development of topography maps to visualize the locations of the water bodies. So some of the exciting student activities include the kickstarting of the university life with SysCamp, where you can meet your future classmates and make new friends. There's also Project Oceanness, which is a meaningful overseas service learning project led by environmental engineering students, and it is part of the Environmental Science and Engineering Students Club. In my year, we went to Chunuk Tru, which is a floating village in Cambodia, where it was an interesting location because it's located on a river. However, they had a lack of a stable, clean water supply, and therefore we donated 6 water filters, which allows them to filter water directly from the river. And this water filter was from WaterRoam, which Prof. has previously mentioned is a startup by our very own environmental engineering alumni. To be able to purchase these filters, we conducted numerous fundraising activities, such as newspaper collection. And when we're at the floating village, we helped to install the water filters in local schools as shown here. So what was interesting is that we installed it together with the current infrastructure that they had, which is the elevated water tank as shown here, such that the water filter can be operated in a semi-automated manner using the gravitational potential energy to exert the pressure. So we also conducted workshops on the operation and maintenance of the filters for the identified personnel who will be in charge of the filters, such as the village chief, as well as the school principals. And through the help of the village chief, we've also encouraged the establishment of micro businesses in selling the filtered water. And the filtered water will be typically priced lower than the market price, such that to encourage its uptake, and as well as they will earn some profit, which will be used to purchase new filter parts, such that this project will have greater sustainability in the long term. Furthermore, we also conducted sharing with the community to let them try the filtered water to reduce any hesitance that they may have. And through Project Oceanness, I really experienced firsthand how environmental engineering has a power to impact and contribute to society. And I've come to the end of my presentation. If any questions, you can feel free to go to the breakout room later to ask them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Céline. I actually think that now is time, if I'm correct, to actually open the floor for questions. And therefore, as Céline just mentioned, and as I already said before, we're going to have 2 rooms. So we're going to make a breakout room for if you have questions related to student life, if you have questions for the students. And then the professors are going to stay in the main room to answer the more academic questions. So it's really up to you whether you guys want to interact with the profs or want to interact with the students without the prof to know what is happening behind, or to have a more informal session with your seniors. So yeah, shall we open the breakout room? Yeah, I think the breakout room is now open. And
okay, Olivia, before they go to the breakout room, because there's one question in the chat already. So let me answer that question before they go to breakout room. The question is about, I'm awarded one of this sustainability and environmental award. Do I have to accept it through a particular platform, or I just have to accept my NUS offer? So you just need to accept your NUS offer. And then you come in, we will, guide you how to spend this, the money in that award. Anyway, you got 3 to 4 years to spend. There's no rush for you, okay? So you just accept the NUS offer, and then that award is with you already. Okay, so we are able to break out now. Just feel free to go to the breakout room to stay with our students. And if you don't want us to be around, I want to chit chat with them, just feel free.
Let us know in the chat if you have any issue.
All right, we do have questions coming.
Do we?
Yeah, in the chat. Let me actually make it larger. I think there's a question.
I don't see any question.
Mers sent to me directly, but this question comes from Diraj. Okay, so is it possible to do a double major environment engineering and computing engineering? Okay, computing engineering, the one you mean within the FOE, or I think, or outside of FOE. So I think whether the computer engineering accepts you or not to do another major over there, this need to apply to the computer engineering, and see whether you meet their like enrollment requirement. So need to apply, but you come in, all right, have almost like 1 whole year to do this. Okay, you come in and then you show your interest to do a double major in the environment engineering plus computer engineering, right? So your second major will be computer engineering. So apply to the computer engineering, either inside FOE, we have one program, and there's a FOS have another program, or FOC has another program. So apply to them to see whether you fulfill their the requirement, right? If you fulfill their requirement, we will try to work out for you in terms of, you know, how to make use of your UEM, 10 of them, to fulfill your second major requirement, to read your second major, basically. So at this moment, actually, it's still possible if they enroll you. So you come in, you can actually apply. And we have some more questions. Those questions, they sent to me directly. Let me see. There's one more question. I don't have H2 physics, right? I also don't have O-level physics. It is still advisable for us to take up environmental engineering. Okay, at this moment, we do require O-level physics. But I think I would strongly encourage you still apply, because it looks like you are not the coming batch in 2021. You are probably belonging to 2022 batch, right? So I was told that our FOE is considering to rearrange this requirement for the physics. So let's wait and see the new requirement comes out, right? We may actually, you know, give some like a special consideration for students don't have O-level or A-level physics in the future, but at this moment, it's not yet available. So at this moment, it is still, we have O-level physics at least at the requirement. So you can actually watch out what's happening in next year. Okay, there could be some changes.
Anyway, there are bridging modules, right?
For O-level physics, yeah. There are bridging modules. So I mean, for this student, I think we will see next year what's happening. Okay, I was told there are some changes, but not available in terms of details yet. Okay, this question, okay, again, it comes in also directly to me. Can I check so we can choose any second major to combine with our environment engineering major? Yes, I think you can choose those available in the NUS bulletin. Okay, and then of course it is up to whether you meet their enrollment requirement. So you come in the first year, you can apply, right, to the second major's department, the faculty, and then see whether you meet their requirement. If you meet their requirement, they enroll you. Of course, you know, technically you should be able to do anything listed in our AUS bulletin. Okay, right. I think I addressed all the questions which is directly sent to me. Olivia, do you see any other questions?
No, not yet. I think some of the students must be talking also must be in the breakout room. But
oh yeah, quite a number of them moved to breakout room. Okay, yeah. It's really good to have these 2 rooms for them to figure out their you know interested information.
Yes. Please do not feel shy, students. If you have any questions, now is a good time.
All right, let's see whether there's any more questions from the student. I don't see any new questions comes in now. All right, let's see whether there's any more questions. I don't really see. Okay, any of you are poly students? There's one question previously. I think I was informed by our administrative staff that there's one question regarding the poly students, course exemption in NUS if they enroll. Okay, so for poly student, I think they will be exempted for 5 UEMs, unrestricted electives, and industry attachment is also exempted. And another 2 modules in the faculty and the faculty's common module list, okay, are going to be exempted. So altogether, poly student will get 38 MCs exemption. Okay, 38 MC is more or less equivalent to 1 whole year workload. Okay, so that's about poly students a course exemption. One of the student actually is asking, one poly student is asking about this. I'm not very sure whether the student is with us in the main room or goes into the breakout room, but if the student later on watch the video, and the student can get the answer here. All right, so poly student will get 38 MC exemption. All right, we got something coming in now. Okay, all the message is to me directly. Okay, is bio a big part of environment engineering? And I saw some modules involving bio. So does that mean that people do not have the bio will struggle a bit? I don't think so. Bio will give you a lot of fun. In fact, we don't ask any pre-knowledge about the bio. I will invite Dr. Bay to say something about his module, which is probably the one relevant to the bio, and you are going to hear from him, what kind of fun you're going to have. It's going to be full of the fun in his module. Dr. Bay, please.
Okay, so generally speaking, the student doesn't have any JC or A-level, O-level biology, but most students are happy with in terms of running experience. So actually, I teaching the microbiology and biology in our year 2 module. Those module is a equivalent, and you guys can learn a many different perspective in terms of microbiology, biology, which you can apply in terms of environmental engineering and environmental sustainability. So bottom line, if you don't have any experience or knowledge of biology, you should be perfectly okay to learn environmental engineering module.
All right. Yeah. So just now my colleague Sangwoo mentioned that bio is definitely full of fun. Don't worry. Okay. And then you go into his module and you will find out. What I tell you is definitely true. Students like his module very much, and he's also a very, very good lecturer. All right. He bring people also go to the Bintan, Indonesia. They have a lot of fun there also. Because we link bio with engineering. It's not just pure bio. So you will find a lot of application scenarios, and you make use of those interesting microorganisms or organisms actually to do a lot of environmental pollution control, that kind of environmental protection, that kind of activities. It's a lot of very interesting things going on, right? Interesting things going on. So I will definitely able to promise you that that's very, very interesting. Okay, let's see whether there's any other things we haven't answered yet. Olivia, your side got any questions? Did students send any question directed to you?
No, I don't have any.
All right, Sangwoo, you also don't get any questions?
I don't have any questions.
I see. Okay, yeah. And if the student got any question regarding the digitalization, we have Justin, my colleagues here also he can help us to address your questions about the digitalization, because some of you are offered with digitalization specialization, right? Together with your environment engineering major. All right, so far we're doing good. All right, okay, I don't have any new questions comes in. And I hope the student in the breakout room is also very happy with the interaction with another 3 students over there. We are approaching to the end of this open house, Olivia, right? According to our timing, or we probably have another like 3-4 minutes left behind, and let's see whether we have any like last question from the student. I believe quite a number of the students gone over there. They probably have more fun over there. Here is a, a curriculum, right? Academic study.
Yeah, let them talk. Let them talk over there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can actually have like at least 3-4 minutes, doesn't matter. And we can even drag a little bit. I believe we should be able to drag a little bit. Is that okay, Merce? Okay, Mer said, okay, we can let them talk, right? No problem, no problem. Okay, so, right, we have now one question comes in, okay? May I know if we need to bid for the modules in the environment engineering? Okay, so in your year 1, and I think part of a year 2, the modules will be given to you, especially in the year 1. So you don't need to bid. But come to your senior years, and especially when you are reading the electives, then you need to bid. Okay, core module usually I think you will be given because you must fulfill that requirement. So core modules you need to be given, but electives. Technical electives and unrestricted electives, then you will need to bid, okay? So you still need to bid for some, but quite a number of the modules, especially your early years modules, will be given to you. So that will make you actually have no worry in your year 1. Even part of your year 2, you probably no worry at all. But later on, you will learn how to do the bidding. So gradually, you are going to read your technical elective, unrestricted elective, you will need to learn how to do the bidding, okay? But you're having enough time, okay? You only come to year 2 and year 3 to do that. Of course, year 4. Right, you study pretty detailed information, right? You even want to understand about the bidding system, okay? You are well prepared, okay? You already start to look into the bidding of the modules. Thank you for asking this question. Yeah, you study pretty detailed information. All right, we got some more people come back from the breakout room, isn't it? We start to get people coming back from the breakout room, looks like. Right, everybody come back from the breakout room. Yeah, it looks like we suddenly get a lot of people comes in. So Olivia, see whether there's any more questions students like to ask. We are more or less towards the end of this open house.
Maybe we can have one question which in the breakout room they had shared. One of it was the student asked David, I'm not sure whether he's still around, he did ask about what do you want to do when you graduate from CEE, from environmental engineering. So maybe the 3 students that our student ambassador can just tell in a very short sentence of like what they expect themselves to do, so their career perspective.
I think I can begin. I actually found a job at AECOM where they mainly do environmental impact assessment. So as I shared earlier, they actually assess a study area and the water bodies that's present there. And actually, it's actually not just within just environmental impact assessment, but my role will also be to conduct some water quality modeling and hydrodynamic modeling. So this is actually also one of the technical electives that we have. And I really enjoyed, I really found interest from the environmental monitoring module, which actually led me to select the internship in this area. And therefore I knew that was kind of what I wanted to do in the future. So the other student ambassadors, would you like to share?
I can share a bit, I guess. To be very honest, I'm not very sure of what I want to do after I graduate, but I would say definitely something in this field, like the environmental engineering field as well. So I'm still open to the different aspects of environmental engineering, just that as of now, I'm not exactly sure which area I want to dive into after I graduate. Yep. Izzat, do you have anything to say?
Okay, as for me, I would like to go into like the renewable energy sector. So perhaps hydropower, or perhaps other renewables such as the solar panels kind. Yeah, it's a lot of renewables, and I think like even if I were to change my decision or like my life choices after I graduate, I think it's a good stepping stone to be an environmental engine, because I can still diversify and move on to other sectors that are still relevant in my opinion. Yeah.
Yesterday, we have a seminar, okay? We invited our alumni from the Sapporo. I think the company is called Sapporo. Okay, this is a company dealing with alternative energy. So it's very in line with what Izzat said just now. So Sapporo is dealing with alternative energy, making use of the waste and converting them to energy, especially some like fuels, right? You know, to actually serve as an alternative energy. So, yeah, Sapporo Energy. This company's full name is called Sapporo Energy. So our alumni come by and share with our students, you know, what's going on. And this looks like this company is doing quite interesting projects now. And they hired 2 of our 2020 graduates. Right, 2020 graduates are all working in this company, working with our early alumni on this alternative energy. And this is definitely a direction the government want to push, right? Remember that, you know, these are all the cars, right? You know, currently driven by petroleum, all need to be replaced, right? So which means that energy is a very important aspect in our 2030 Green Initiative. So that's why this Sapporo Energy, I think, is getting some interesting projects going on now, demonstrating waste to energy. That's something I think government also want to see. Not only our government want to see, I think quite a number of the countries' government also want to actually move towards this direction, especially now. The hottest word in this environment engineering domain is called carbon neutrality, all right? And how to achieve carbon neutrality, energy is a very important driving factor to achieve carbon neutrality. So definitely energy, carbon neutrality, all of those are important aspects for our students to go in. And subsequently, we are going to invite our another alumni also working in the environmental, in the energy field, all right, maybe 2-3 months later, okay, to give another talk, also regarding energy. Right, he may touch on some other energy aspects like Izzat mentioned, for example, hydropower and maybe wind power or some others. Okay, so we are going to hear more about, you know, how to actually develop alternative energy, which is also definitely one subdomain of our environment engineering. All right, if you are able to develop yourself in this line, you are going to see plenty of the opportunities because government is pushing. Okay. And also many other foreign countries are also pushing. So important for our students equip themselves with the knowledges, with experience, with the skill set in this field, of course, there are many other fields as well, but this is definitely a very nice, a very interesting field for our student, for existing student or also coming student to consider. All right. Okay. So I guess there's no more questions now, right? Okay. I think, Olivia, would you like to close up? Oh, right. Actually, there's one question just coming. Is this a question? Right. It's a comment. Olivia, you are able to see that?
Renewable energy and energy management are involved in all environmental engineering sub-disciplines. Energy is very important to the topic of environmental engineering. It's not present in absolutely all of the disciplines, but it's something that is very crucial and is very important to sustainability. A lot of the environmental issues are caused by our poor energy management, and a lot of the solutions lie in finding new sources of energy. So definitely I can concur with this comment. Yeah.
All right. I think no more questions from the students, and we really come to the end of our open house.
Yes, so let's close this session, and thank you everyone for attending. Thank you for the students. I do hope that you will join us soon, and I wish you a good weekend, and take care and be safe, and see you soon. Goodbye everyone.
Bye.